Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen. You work here. No. Give me your hands.
Hey, Guayaquil.
Fuck you.
You guys are all on video.
No, take my phone. Hey, you got my phone.
Where is the paperwork for that?
Where's the...
They do it on Target. They do it on Target.
Hey, go. Stand up. Go.
Where are your warrants?
Hey, I'm a worker.
Anybody else? Go and ask where the fuck the warrants are. You guys don't have the right.
What's your name? What's your name?
Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen. I'm literally a U.S. citizen. Leave him alone. Get the fuck out of here.
Why are you kidnapping?
Why you kidnapping? Wow.
Why are you? Why?
Okay.
Sir, give us your phone number. We'll call.
What is your phone number? Give me the show. This is the lady of yesterday. Wow, they broke his arm.
What? You want your family to know?
He has a passport.
Hey, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Hara HaKodash. Send double honors to our apostles and elders. Here, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So that's the first part of the video, is ICE going into Target and grabbing up two Jakes. As you can see, they grabbed the one pretty violently. And you could basically say kidnapped him. They threw him in the back of the truck against his will. Now here's the second part.
Jonathan Garcia, the Target employee who's a minor and a United States citizen that was arrested and taken at his place of work a couple days ago in Richfield, Minnesota. Well, there's a follow-up video. They released him about 8 minutes away at the Walmart.
In the car. This guy right here, they let him out of the vehicle. They tortured him.
This guy?
This guy right here, yeah. Tortured.
You okay, man? No, I'm not okay.
Bro, shit's crazy. My man's bleeding. Bleeding.
They slammed me on the ground.
We gotta be able to call somebody. That's just ridiculous.
Can we call somebody for him?
You got family around? You got somebody here, man? Come on, we in here. Come on, man. You work here, don't you?
No, I work at Target.
You work, bro. Come on, bro. It's okay. You guys are so crazy.
We great yet? He's a child. They literally took him, beat him up, and then threw him out. If that was your kid, how would you feel about that?
All right, so Esau Edom, man, you know, when I watched that video afterwards, you know, I just started laughing simply because, right, Esau Edom has nothing else but wrath. That's all that this nigga got, because that's all he is. He's just a nigga. Look at all that manpower. You wasted all that manpower, all that energy, right? Going after a Jake that works at Target. Now, obviously, I can't say obviously, but, you know, he's working at Target, right? Trying to make, you know, probably working for minimum wage, probably. Just doing this job, and you use all that energy, all that manpower, all that's money and time wasted. You know, tackling the man to the ground, you know, got him bleeding, forcing him in the car, all of that, right? And for what? Just to prove his status, just to prove his status. And then once you saw that, okay, you're good. So what they do, they just kicked his ass and then dropped him off around the corner. It's like, what was that all for? What was that all for? When you could be dedicating that time to tracking down these PDF files to these child traffickers, right? You know, you can't release the Epstein files, and you know, there's always children missing, and don't nobody know what the children missing. All that energy could be directed towards solving mysteries, right? People getting kidnapped, children getting kidnapped. These child sex trafficking rings. But instead, you use all that energy and money and time to go after a defenseless, unarmed Israelite citizen, just at the job, only to just kick his ass and then let him go a few blocks away. Like, well, all of that is out of response of wrath. You understand? This devil don't have nothing else. This nigga got nothing else but to respond in that manner. And it's all because he's losing his power and he's going down. And they're trying to blame Jacob for the reason that their empire is falling. So here it is, his back against the wall. He's losing relationships and trust with world powers. But he has the time to dedicate wrath towards rounding up our people, beating their ass, right? He has time for that, though. Out of all the energy and time you could be putting that manpower to use, you got the time to gather a crew of violent wannabe cops, right? To target Jake, to target Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the Israelites, all out of wrath. You see, this is what the book of Revelation warns the world, especially our people, about. This dragon, this great red dragon, coming down with wrath upon the people because he knows his time is short. He ain't got nothing else but just wrath, right? Psalms 37:11, it says, "But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace." You Edomites, you aren't the meek. You are not the meek. The word meek means lowly. You abhor the poor. You got this energy to target the poor, like you're doing something. You know, body slamming a man to the ground just for what? Pushing carts. You know, you doing all of that because we need to make sure he could prove. You could have proved his citizenship by just walking up to the man. You just wanted to use force. You wanted to use violence, and that's what the American people, the people in Babylon, are starting to see. When these so-called ice ages come, they want to use violence. You know, a lot of them just have anger to take out. Why? Because their kingdom is fallen. And it's like, what is this supposed to even achieve? You know, but that's just it. It's not supposed to make sense. This is literally Babylon the Great, where the PDF files run the world. People who speak the truth are on the bottom and can get silenced and attacked, while liars, murderers, and stealers and killers, right, are in the president's seat, right, or in the position of power. But the poor, who has just about nothing to his name, he's not allowed to speak the truth. If he speaks the truth, then they're going to send the forces. You know, that's Babylon the Great. You have misguided anger, but this is Babylon. You would think you got all this time and energy to track down these people, right? Our people, to beat them up, let them go. All that time and energy, that was a complete waste of time. Okay, all you did was torture and beat up on Jake because you know they're poor, when you could be tracking down these sex traffickers and these PDF files, right? These missing children, people who kidnap children. There's never no time or money for that, but there's time to go and track down what you would call so-called illegals, but they're not. This is just wrath, man. You know, it's not supposed to make sense because it's Babylon the Great. Verse 12, it says, "The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth." And who are the just? The Israelites. It says, "The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming." So the Lord is laughing at you devils. I'm laughing at you devils. We're laughing at you devils, because everything you're doing is just out of response of wrath, because you're losing control and you're losing power. The world doesn't bow to Babylon, America anymore. The world is condemning Babylon. The world is condemning the state of Israel. They're condemning them. You know? You got Trump going out to, I think he was at a mall or something, or some type of plant, and even the workers there was like, hey, it's the PDF file protector. And he got mad and he flicked them off. So you don't have that respect anymore. You've lost that respect. So guess what he's going to respond with? Wrath. Especially upon the woman child, the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You know, we're always the face of blame when things start to go south for them, which is what they started doing. Oh, everything's going wrong in this country. It's because of those immigrants, those illegals taking all of our tax money and this and this and that. Now, how about you got a PDF file in the Oval Office protecting them, dropping bombs, right? He got trillions of dollars to give to other countries, but for you, he got a debate on sending you a $1,000 check. But it's the illegals, they're the problem. No, it's because your power is slipping from your grasp, so you're coming after the just. Verse 14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. You see, so they'll take the time to sharpen their swords, prepare their ammo, go to the gun range, all this time, energy, go through those drills, do all of that to target the poor and the innocent, the poor and the needy. And to target those that be of upright conversation. We know that eventually ICE is going to be the target for the Israelites, the believers, the insurrection that's prophesied. Second Ezra 16:70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Insurrection means violent uprising. So we know that ICE definitely has to be included in that. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So we know that when Trump, just like Nero did, because he is Nero in his past life, when he set the fire to Rome to take, and people were suspicious of it, to take the attention off him, he put the blame to the Christians, which were us, the Israelites. Why? Because he understood that the people already didn't like the Christians, so he could paint them out to be these criminals. They're the ones that set the fire to Rome. And then he used his people, which I was going to do a lesson on that. The brother brought that out of the camp. That blew my mind. I think it's called the something guard. But he had his own guards of people who specifically went around and terrorized the Christians. Right? And he did that to try to take the attention off himself. So when all else fails, just blame the Israelites in America. Just blame the poor and the needy. And it said to slay those that be of such of upright conversation. Well, nobody like those Hebrew Israelites, so we'll just put the blame on them and say they're the reason. And we know they're going to use anti-Sem to do it. So they're going to use the rhetoric of anti-Sem to say anybody who condemns us or criticize us or whatever, or teach the mark of the beast as a chip or all of that, you all are considered anti-Sem. And I'm going to give ICE the command to come and take y'all too. So you got all this energy, all this time to try to target those who speak the Bible, those who speak the truth. That's this man. That's Babylon the Great. That's this man's nature. It's just wrath. He's not what they would call a diplomatic individual. Like you had that one guy on the newscast regarding Greenland trying to soften it up. He's like, I still think we have room for diplomatic and peaceful solutions. But Esau, Edom, you're not a diplomatic individual. As definition here says, which number 2, it says having or showing an ability to deal with people in a sensitive and effective way. Yeah, meaning like you use your words. You Edomites, you don't use your words. What did Trump say? We're going to get Greenland whether they like it or not. We're going to come over there whether they like it or not. Because they said, look, respectfully, no thanks. But he says, well, then I'm going to come with the violence. So you're not a diplomatic individual. In Yahweh Yahushua does not respect a man as a carnal nature as you, where you just resort to the force of the sword to get your way. So that proves that your deals, your treaties, your contracts, all of that is rotten. Why would anybody want to do a deal or a treaty with you knowing, right, that if you don't get your way, you won't respect the terms of the contract, because now you're talking about using force on your own allies, man. You Edomites, you're not a diplomatic people. You're a people of wrath. You don't like to take no for an answer. As the scripture says, woe to him that have an evil covetous toward his house. He wants Greenland because he said this is for national security. We're gonna come and take over your land for our security. No, you just coveting after his house. Right? And y'all supposed to be in agreement. But that's this devil. The book of Sirach 13:3. The rich man have done wrong, yet he threatening withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. Yeah, you know, there won't be any justice for that brother there, Garcia. There won't be any justice for him. There won't be any justice for him. Remember that J.D. Vance gave basically those ICE agents full immunity to do what they want. So not even the cops will be able to do anything. They're like their own militia group acting according to their own will. Filled with what? Wrath. Angry that their country has fallen and they want to put the blame on the illegals. They actually believe what the devil's saying, and a lot of them are doing it simply because they want to hurt somebody, they want to kill somebody, they want to do violence. And a lot of them actually believe it. This is going to fix the country. The country going to get back. We just got to deal with those pesky illegals. Soon it's going to be, we got to deal with those Israelites. They're the problem. Because you can't push the New World Order with the microchip knowing that you got the prophets on the highways and byways telling everybody, look, that's the mark of the beast. That's the mark of the beast. So they know eventually we're going to come after you Israelites. We know everything they putting in place is to target us. They want to have complete control of the internet, who can say what. And if you teach that you're an Israelite, that's going to be considered an anti-Sem. Meaning you are in the same league with those terrorists, meaning you no longer have rights. We can deal with you accordingly. We're going to get an order to ICE to come and go after these people. We already know the deal. Verse 5, if thou have anything, verse 4, it says, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? And he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee twice or thrice. And at the last he will laugh thee to scorn. Afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down in thy jollity. That's this devil. So he's not a diplomatic person. He has an evil covetous to his house. He seeks to gain for his own profit. He wants control. And he will say, oh, I like Greenland. They're good people. We can sit down and meet and all that. Hey, look, I want to offer you a deal. Here's this and here's that. And they'll say, oh, respectfully, no thanks. We want to be our own people. So then he looks at that. He says, so basically you want war. You declaring war because I'm going to come and I want it. That's why they have something called the economic hitman. What? Oh, we're going to send people over to Africa. Hey, look, man, we respect you, like your land. How about this? We'll give you a loan to help you build your business such and such. Oh, thanks. But you know what? We're good. No, thanks. We'll work things out our own way. You sure, man? We really want to help? Oh, no, thanks. We want to good. Okay. Send an assassin in, take him out, put a puppet in, and then go back over there and say, now, like I said, we want to make a deal. Take this loan. You took the loan. Now you're forever in debt to us. Oh, well, wait a minute. I thought you meant peace. I thought you wanted peace. Hey, man, I want what I want, which is your land. See? And now you're a slave to me. And then that's how you earn hatred, because everybody realizes you're just using the dollar as a weapon. Yeah, because it says if he need thee, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. That's this man, Esau Edom, a man of violence, a man of force. Okay? His anger and his wrath is misguided. If it was in the right sense, he would use all that energy to figure out to solve the problems in his own country, but instead he wants to target the poor and the meek. Why? Because he knows his time is up. He's doing all of this because he's losing power, so all he knows how to do is react with wrath. That's it, man. What a joke, this man, Esau Edom, what a joke. But this is how you know he lost his power. When you're just using force, unjustifiable force and wrath upon the poor and the needy. It's a clear and simultaneously stretching your military thin across the world for the sake of for control and threatening. You're doing all of this while you got problems in your own house while you're trying to be in someone else's backyard. Is a sign that your empire is about to fall, as all the empires before you fail, because it's a last desperate attempt to try to maintain control over the people, but it's not by diplomatic means. It's by force. It's not by peace. It's by force. And that's proof that you basically lost. Your empire is done for, man. This place is over with. And in the end, if I kept reading, and in the end, you will get judged. So back in Psalms 37:13, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So in the end, it's going to be uno reverse, as Yahushua said. You want to live by it, you're going to die by it. The Lord will reward you according to your anger and your envy. That's all it is. Matthew 26:52. Then said Yahushua, put up again thy sword in his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. And that's what's going to happen to you Edomites. Shalom.